Hello and welcome to a new edition of Echoed Africa, brought to you by Channels TV, Deutsche Welle and KTN. I'm Nelta Igbe from Abeokuta in Ogun State, Nigeria.
And I'm Joy Bira from Nairobi, Kenya. Together, we bring you exciting environment stories from all over Africa and Europe. This is what's coming up on the show today. This week, we find out how the small island state of Sao Tome and Principe of the West African coast is tackling plastic waste. We explore the dirty secret of large container vessels and cruise ships. And find out how IT is helping Ugandan farmers cope with climate change.
Now, wherever there are human beings, there's bound to be waste generated. Now, of course, waste is meant to be thrown away, but there's a new breed of people who believe that waste can be turned into something good. But then they also need to get this waste put together. That gave birth to another breed of people who go about gathering this waste for recycling, for reuse. Well, we caught up with one of them, Ola, who has a master's degree in cell engineering and genetics. But that's not enough. She chose to go forth and clean her environment because, according to her, a clean environment means a better life.
Waste as far as the eye can see. More and more is being produced on a daily basis. One young woman is determined to do something about the situation. Ola Abiodun holds a master's degree in genetics, but at the moment she is concentrating on collecting waste. It's a mission that takes her far and wide. Today she's headed to the market in search of garbage. Ola doesn't care what anyone thinks.
People tend to look at it like, are you nuts, or what's the matter with you picking up waste? We consider them as waste or rubbish, and like, I didn't see it as being a punishment or a torment. It's just like I'm trying to fulfill my, let me say, passion, or what my interest had been. Like, okay, let me look for a way of cleaning up the environment.
She collects all forms of plastic waste, storing it before taking it in bulk to the recycler. Usually she receives around $3 for some 50 kilos, but sometimes she has to buy the waste.
And at times, even to get it, you still have to part with some money to get it, though it's a waste.
Ola doesn't want to stop there. She wants to find out more about waste and how it can be turned into wealth. So she's gone to the youth convention organized by the Ogun State government to teach practical ways of earning a living by turning dirt to gold. At the conference, delegates tell the audience how they set up their environmental businesses with the aim of making Nigeria a cleaner place to live. But even in the middle of all this, Ola can't seem to keep her mind off her job and picks up all the trash around her. She's shocked that even at this conference, people drop litter everywhere, even after just learning how they can turn it into money.
It has really opened my eyes. Like, I've been seeing so many things lying around in my house, so I can actually get money from this thing. It's just, and it's with less stress.
Ogun State alone generates an estimated 4,650 tons of waste daily. Any burdened entrepreneur certainly won't be short of work. Their biggest challenge is transporting the bounty to the recycling plant.
I gather them together. When the quantity is much, so as to reduce cost of transportation, I transport it down to Songo. There's this nylon plastic recycling farm at Songo, where I'll take it to and they would recycle it back.
Songota is about an hour's drive away, but even this can't stop Nigeria's young environmentalists.
So how many plastic bottles of water have you drank and thrown away in your life? I can't say exactly how many I have, but from an environmental perspective, it's bound to be a lot. Of course, plastic is a pretty useful material, but it has a host of negative environmental effects. So, what is plastic's impact on our climate? Check out our info film, which attempts to answer exactly that question while I go take care of my bottles.
Every day, people the world over use plastic shopping bags. They're lightweight, hard-wearing, and often come for free. But how harmful are plastic bags to the climate? Every year, more than 600 billion plastic bags are manufactured worldwide. 4% of the crude oil consumed globally every year ends up in plastic bags. But oil is a fossil fuel, and supplies are slowly coming to an end. Manufacturing and shipping plastic bags requires large amounts of energy and also causes 60 tons of CO2 emissions every year. On average, plastic bags are in use for just 25 minutes, then they're thrown away. Few of them are recycled. Most plastic bags end up in rivers, on the streets, or in the ocean. And they're tough. Some will take 500 years to disintegrate. That is, if they aren't eaten by wild animals. Plastic bags are life-threatening for wildlife. Some countries have banned plastic bags entirely, while in others, it's illegal to give them away for free. But the best way to help the climate is to use alternatives and forget plastic bags altogether.
Climate change is affecting everyone on Earth, but it presents farmers in Africa with some especially difficult challenges. Isn't that right, Joy?
That's very true, NT. In Uganda, for example, farmers used to be able to count on regular rain for 8 months out of the year. Now they're only getting it for around 3 months, and that means harvests are suffering. Interestingly, IT experts have been able to help the affected farmers, and here's how.
Richard Moyengo has a visitor. A coordinator from the Satellite Data Project is mapping his fields. The project aims to have small farmers like Richard increase their yields as low rainfall has made that increasingly difficult.
We used to have rains for 8 months, but now it has dropped to 3 months.
That's a familiar worry amongst Uganda's coffee growers. According to Oxfam, about 5 million Ugandans, most of them small farmers, depend on coffee for their livelihood. Others put that figure at close to 12 million. But low rainfall due to climate change has diminished yield. The shade from the banana trees makes little difference. Coffee is Uganda's biggest source of export earnings, and so low yields bring not only economic disruption, but hunger too. Many children are at risk. The government estimates that about 1.8 million people are going hungry. Uganda has also taken in many refugees from neighboring countries like South Sudan. As a result, Uganda has been forced to take funds earmarked for road constructions to buy the food needed to prevent famine. The project can now calculate data for Richard Zokarian and for the 350,000 other Ugandan farmers who are taking part in the initiative. The €4.5 million project will measure temperature, rainfall, and hours of sunlight for the next few years.
This information is complex and difficult for a farmer to make use of. So we work with a team of agronomists to build out models and translate this information into SMSs to farmers on their mobile phone.
Back in the villages, the farmers are given more instructions, often from younger Ugandans.
The fact that it's a technology project gets the youth very interested. Now, because youth like technology, and this involves a lot of technology, using the phones and exchanging messages, and then that is their playground.
Now, Richard Muyango knows it's a good time to prepare his soil for the next rainfall.